So, unless if I screwed something up by going back to too much to handle to try to look at it, the only other thing I can think of is maybe let's do this changed. Maybe off-screen Richter goes and saves Mayu, and then they show up to the soap company because they're like, hey, that's where those are the guys that kidnapped me, and I'm mad. So, hopefully this works out. If not, I don't know what else to do. Because, I mean, like, everyone's in position to do stuff. The only other people that aren't are the, cops. Satsumi doesn't know what he's doing. If Heihaku is no good, I don't know if we have any other options. What does that mean, then? Do you know Miyu? In which case, is waiting for her secretary the only thing we can do? Is it? Has Miyu been doing stuff like this all by so dangerous? We did this right. Must be hard to make friends. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, we did this already. You know, look good, but you've got bold side, a little reckless even, you think? Feels great. I don't like that, like, everything doesn't have the check marks anymore. Huh? Okay, so there is something. I definitely looked at this stuff before, right? So, I don't know if this is something that I missed or if it's just because we did the thing. Huh, what is it? That person coming this way. Look at him. He's standing there menacingly. What, that tall guy? Do you know him? Yeah, from a little while back. Mr. Yumioka, over here. Oh. You're Gamiota's manager, Mr. Yumioka, yes? Good to see you again. Miss Kurasuzu, excuse me. What a coincidence running into you here. Gamioto? Yumioka? He's been trying to avoid eye contact with Mio since he noticed it was her. Something's fishy. I mean, yeah. Look at him with his Phoenix Wright-ass haircut. Like he's a little too nervous for just running into an acquaintance. I like how that was a continuation of that thought. You know him, Mio? Yeah, from a job a while back. Okay. Well, I can't look around more now. Intersection? Is there a sticker now? No, okay. How have things been since we last met? If she just stays with her training, she won't have to rely on cheating people anymore. Was the, chairwoman doing, like, fake psychic readings? Yes, she has been keeping at it. Cheating people? I need a, I don't even know if we have, like, the people of interest that I want to double check on. I wanted to see if things are the way I think they are, but I don't know where to find information. I don't know where to find it. The information's all over the goddamn place. Would it be in here? And these are all like bureau. Alright. Kiro Nakagashi is the main person in charge. That's what I want to double check. Want to make sure that I got that name right. And I want to... It's been like a hot minute. I want to make sure I know the, chairwoman's name, but I don't know if she was in the persons of interest or not. I think she was. Just go do the list. I know all these people. It's almost surprising to me that Hitomi has her own, thing. Is he really just gonna be Najima, because I really thought he wouldn't. Alright. Natsue Yamamori. Unrelated names. Yumioka, okay. I just wanted to... Why did, like, cheating people not continue? Whatever. Let's, ask Mio more about it? You gotta tell me what happened. A case from a while back. A family overseeing a reliquary came to us saying they were being investigated by someone suspicious. Investigate it? A psychic named Suigen Gamioto suddenly showed up. She said that she had a premonition that something terrible would happen and had to exorcise the temple immediately. Sounds like a cover for burglary. After they notified the police, I was dispatched there by Paranormal Affairs. I inspected the place myself, but didn't see anything wrong, so I sent them away. He acted as Gamioto's manager during the case. That is pretty suspicious. Apparently, she was looking for something there, but I told her that's no excuse for fraud and sent her off with a scolding. And honestly, Gamioto didn't even have much spirit sense to speak of, which soured my mood on the whole thing. Right, so she was one of those types then. Well, she's involved in all kinds of stuff, so she may at least be knowledgeable about paranormal objects. I just don't remember, like, if that name came up before. But essentially, she's one of those fraudulent psychics that are so common nowadays. Fraudulent. And you managed her? If you have no further business with me, then I'll be on my... Oh, before you go... Gamioto seemed to know a lot about paranormal objects. It would be a huge help if we could ask her about something. And what might that be? Is she familiar with the ancient text called A Record of Fate Sien Scroll? Or anything about the descendants of Onmyojo named Simon Tsuchi Makato? I'll always get it wrong. I beg your pardon. Miss Kurosuzu, how do you... So you do know about it. I see. If that's what you're after, then that means... Hold it! Don't tell me you're trying to snatch up some innocent schoolgirls this time. Stop right there! Oh, that's absolutely Mayu. So yeah, it was just, it happened off screen. Huh? If it isn't Yumioka, what a pleasure to see you again. What? Mayu Chizawa, what are you doing here? Huh? Chizawa? This investigator here helped me out. You really did a number on me. What do you know? We just so happen to have some business with Hihaku ourselves. Why don't you join us? You can do that much for us, can't you? You work for Hihaku after all. Depending on how this conversation goes, I won't have to get the police involved. Huh? You work for Hihaku? What's going on? That's where I was getting confused, because when the name came up that he was, like, managing someone, but also he's a secretary for someone unrelated, all psychic-related shit. It's a lot. There's really no way you can refuse, though, is there? Haru's also here. You two I like how they actually don't have names for this, since Yako and Mio don't know these people. You two young ladies must be involved as well. Would you care to join us? Oh, sure. Did Tsutsumi not mention, though, that he was working with, like, schoolgirls? Like, you'd think Victor would get an idea, but I guess it's to get all this done. Why are we at the park? Quite the view, isn't it? How long can you play dumb with this many people lined up and wanting answers from you? You'd better just give in and come clean with everything you know. Ugh. Oh, God. Everyone's here. The client. She was only introduced as the investigator's client. She's cool. Feels like we wouldn't stand a chance against a full-grown woman like her. Are we gonna fight her? What were we thinking, Yako? Excuse me. Are you new to all of this, too? Oh, I guess I'm kind of just tagging along. Yeah, same with Haru, really. Me too. Let's make sure to not get in the way, shall we? Right. I was gonna say, like, do you think Haru would have any grudges against Yako, but she's not really Michio anymore. Wow, seeing a bunch of adults surrounding another adult like this is pretty wild. It pretty is. Sorry, it was a weird way for me to say that. But Mio is amazing too, keeping her cool at a time like this. She must be used to dealing with adults by now. It's crazy that, like, the conversations or the thoughts that I'm going through happen to line up. Like, would there have been a different thing with Mio? Look at her looking at him. Excuse me, I had no idea that Gamioto was connected with Heihaku. So I'd just like to ask, was it Miss Yamamori from Heihaku who obtained the Record of Fates and passed it on to Urashi? No, that was not the case. Oh, my mistake! That was a weird reaction, Mio. Was it Suiden Gimioto doing then? No, it was not. We first learned of the Record of Fates from Mr. Urashi. It was then that Miss Yamamori gained an interest and extended a contract to compensate him in return for his research and findings. And who was it that activated the Feast of Shadows to call forth the Curse of the Seven Mysteries? I give you my word that we had no part in that. We had learned from Urashi beforehand that something would happen at midnight last night, that is all. Hey, there's no way that's true! Stop lying! I'm gonna beat you! I must ask that you please refrain from violence. Hold on, Yako, it's alright. The minute I learned that Gamioto was none other than the Queen of Heihaku herself, I felt that was the case. So they were the same people, she just used a different name? She doesn't have strong enough spirit sense for it. Oh, got you. Well, it's somewhat shameful. If you require proof, then so be it. What, so that talk of supernatural power was just hot air? I don't think she has zero spirit sense, but even Yako here has more than her. I do? Also, the spirit power lingering in this park has been bothering me for quite some time. The person who died here must have had considerably powerful spirit sense. Like Shogo did? If they were a Heihaku employee, then maybe they should have been the one running things. My, to think Shogo Okiie was so talented. At any rate, Heihaku wasn't the mastermind behind exposing the Record of Fate to the world and initiating the Feast of Shadows. I think we can be sure about that. Alright. I'm sorry. Names are eluding me to an extreme at this point. And it doesn't help that these characters were, like, not fully involved for a while. So, are these supposed to be the same people? But, like, she just went under a different name to try to do psychic shit, and she just wasn't good at it? Because she don't got no spirit sense? I guess once we finish everything will probably update, and it'll be easier for me to understand. I might act like I might just be, like, falling apart character-wise. He's clearly shaken by all this. Is he? I was hoping for a bit more of a reaction. It feels like he's desperately racking his brain for a way to get out of this. It's almost hard to watch. I don't think there's any stickers around here, so I'm not... Wasn't it, like, return to the park at night, right? Mio still has more? And you know about the Record of Fate Yin Scroll too, don't you? If you're researching the Rite of Resurrection and the Record of Fates, then you must have looked into the Yin Scroll as well. That's right, the Record of Fates alone wasn't enough to learn how to collect soul drugs. I'm sure you looked into many things on your own, but how much do you actually know? Who and where Simon Tsuchimakado's descendants are, were you able to find that sort of information with Gamioto's connections? I can't reveal that. Well, someone would have something revealed. So if they're not involved, which I kind of assumed they weren't going to be involved, like, they're involved, but only in the, like, greedy sense and not in the mastermind sense, then we're led to believe Ayami Tono is the one that's doing all this then, right? Since, I mean, she was in the car and was like, I need the thing. We were introduced briefly earlier, but this flashy-looking guy is a private investigator. I thought they were only like that in TV shows, but I guess they're pretty intense in real life, too. Let me look at everyone. She's Mayu Chizawa, the fiancée of Hajime Yashima, the police officer. I'll have to talk to her about Hitomi later. You know what? I'll cut to the chase then. Are you the one who killed Hajime Yashimi? No, we did not. Don't try and play dumb now. If not you, then who? That much I don't know. Okay. Well, it is true that we were after the information he possessed. He was killed by someone else before we could acquire it. Well, so then... I'm sorry, I keep going and stuff. Or, like, we're kind of, like, ahead of, like, everything. Ahead. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Like, I feel like everything's tumbling into place. I don't think we're gonna have much of, like, a sidetrack anymore. This isn't what I wanted, but I guess this is important enough. We do not know who has the Taiko of Tsugaru. The Whispering Canal, I would still assume... Shogo is dead. There's not like a surprise he's not dead, right? I would assume Yoko has to be doing shit with that. And I want to say that was the one at the school. But then they did say that there were limbs missing, so it was Nijima. So I don't know. I guess we'll discuss it more with him, but I don't even know if they have an actual curse stone. He was killed by someone else before we could acquire it. Which forced us to target you instead, Miss Chizawa. I feel like I don't know how to, like, do a tongue click that's, like, properly shows annoyance. And that's why you forced me to talk and why I ended up with this curse, huh? Indeed, though I never thought you would escape. Well, took a couple of miracles, but yeah, I got out. And just what information did Hajime have that you wanted? You really think you can get away without answering now? Quick, Victor, pull out your gun. But... you talk again. Fine, I'll let someone else ask you something for now. Never mind. You talk again. Really? You don't look that panicked. Like, it's not like a... I feel like you need to have, like, the desperation sweat or something. What was it called? What's it called in, like, Phoenix Wright when they get into their, like, desperation mode? I feel like there was a name for it, but I just don't remember. Mio, you keep going. I feel like Victor wants to have the last word. Who and where Simon Tsuchimikado's descendants are? Were you able to find that sort of information with connections? He can't reveal that, okay. Then, would you prefer I expose to the public how Gamioto is a fraud with almost zero spirit sense? Oh, this was different. I thought the gist of the first part of the conversation was the same. Irk. Fine, I understand. Maybe I shouldn't have moved on to Mio. From the result of our independent research, I found that Simon Tsuchimikado's descendant was Hajime Yashima. Not that surprising. Weird that the text would go all the way across the screen like that, though. That's, like, not very good. It doesn't look great. What? So that's why he went after Hajime. However, Hajime Yashimi was only carrying a fragment of the whole. A fragment? That's right. He did say something about a fragment of an old manuscript. The location of the Yin Scroll was hidden. This information was split into two and hidden in a pair of talismans, which were then passed down from generation to generation. Ah, talismans? I see. Hajime Yoshimi was supposed to have one, but it was almost certainly stolen when he was killed. It's possible that he knew the location of the other as well. So that's why you questioned me about the things he'd inherited. The girl Hajime had been helping recently must have had it then. Oh, Michio's talisman! Don't say that! He's gonna know! Yes, Michio Shiraishi was also likely a descendant of Simon... I'm trying to, say it fast, because I'm sick of saying Tsuchimikado the way I am, but if I try to say it fast, I just get rubber mouth. Which I don't think rubber mouth is a phrase. But what? The talisman she carried as a keepsake from her father. We searched for it based on Miss Chizawa's memories. However, Michio Shiraishi was already dead. Yes, by coincidence, she happened to be closely connected to Mr. Iway, so we began our investigation there. But he was already dead too, leaving you in a quandary. I see. Mio, if we can get both of the talismans... Yep, we'll know the location of the record of Fate's Yin Scroll. Wow, sometimes the answer is right under your nose. I don't understand how 2 talismans can be the answer, but... sometimes those answers are the hardest to find. Okay, we'll let Richter talk now. Now then, I've come to hand over the Haunting Clapper's curse stone like I promised. A curse stone? Thank you. I have to admit, I'm surprised that you are a man of your word. But first, I've got some questions about the curse stones you already have. What exactly do you want to know? Earlier you said that Heihaku have collected 6 curse stones already. 6? I'd like to confirm which of the 7 mysteries they correspond to. And why do you need to know that? Because I don't trust, of course. If you really collected them like you say, you'd have no problem saying which curse stones they are, right? First, the Whispering Canal. Oh, we can't get that one. Good. And what else? Mayu Chizawa over there has the Beckoning Light. Yep, you were the one who made sure I got it. That doesn't mean you have it, though. What? Unfortunately for you, I don't feel like handing it over. So I don't think it counts as one of yours. Irk! Good to know. Anyway, do continue. Next, there's the ever-burning lantern, which we gave to Hideki Irashi. So you consider that one of Heihaku's then? This is such an ass pull for him. Whatever, we'll worry about that later. That's 3. What about the others? Well, the others are... the Foot Washing Mansion and the Evergreen Beach. What? And lastly, the Fool's Procession, if I recall. What a full of shit. So you claim. How about it, Mademoiselle? That's wrong. Those 3 are with Inspector Tsutsumi. I gave the Fool's Procession to him myself, so I know he's wrong. There you have it. Too bad for you, pal. Erg. If our agreement was founded on lies, and I have no duty to hand over my curse stone like I'd promised. Meaning the only curse stone you have is the Whispering Canal. If even, though. And that inevitably... I can't say real words. I said real words, like Japanese names aren't real words. And it inevitably follows that you use it to kill that young man in Kinshibori Park. I guess it would make sense, because he would be there. Just Yoko wouldn't have been dead, so he could have been the one that got it. But I don't know if I believe that. Such a horrible act. And to your own employee, no less. No. There you are mistaken. To be entirely frank with you, we do not possess a single curse stone. Okay. What? We plan to collect soul dregs using any method available to us, of course, as we need it the right. But committing murder ourselves was too much of a risk. We intended on having others collect the soul dregs for us. Is that so? Therefore, I myself have no soul dregs in my possession, which we can agree with, at least in that one timeline, because Shogo killed him and got, like, 1. It was our plan to arrange for particularly greedy individuals to receive the curses. What? It is possible Shogo Okiie came in to possess the Whispering Canal because of that. But by the time I became aware of this, he was already dead. I don't believe you. Are you really trying to talk your way out of this now? Or do you really want me to believe a Heihaku employee was cursed by complete coincidence? That is the truth, whether you believe me or not. It must have been someone else entirely who took Shogo Okiie's stone and killed him. I have no idea whatsoever whose hands the Whispering Canal is in now, nor where it may be. Oh, could it really be? Then it wasn't Heihaku who put the idea in Umechika Nejima's head to get a cursed stone either? Nejima. The only one we've negotiated with are Aiwei and Urashi. That makes sense. Again, for like the purely greed aspect of it, like youth and, you know, all that stuff, it makes sense. Interesting. Excuse me, but does that mean you don't know the location of the remaining curse stones either? There's one that hasn't been mentioned. What about the Taiko of Sugaru? Ooh, good question, my mysterious mademoiselle. I'm afraid we have no information in that regard either. Have you heard enough about curse stones? I have nothing else to tell you. Excuse me, Mr. Investigator? What is it, mademoiselle? Would you be willing to give up the curse stone you have? Yes, you have a point. They're too dangerous to carelessly walk around within one's pocket. However, sorry to disappoint you. That's not possible at the moment. And why's that? You don't know, do you? Then I'll tell both you and your friend from Heihaku over there. I doubt any of you have attempted it yet. But it seems that curse stones cannot be given to normal people. Huh? What? I actually tested it with the madame here earlier. Madam. He didn't get fancy with it. Even if you give the curse stone to someone else, the curse bearer doesn't change, and the stone eventually makes its way back to the bearer. It just like teleports to them. We are so far into this game for this piece of information to come up. Does this affect anything that we know currently? I don't think so. It just means that, like, you have to be the curse bearer to use the curse. It's almost obvious when you think about it, seeing as how the curse stones appeared to the curse bearers of their own accord to begin with. Actually, okay, wait, so what does that mean with Tsutsumi then? That he's able to take, I guess because he's a curse bearer, he can take a curse stone? Is that, like, right, they said normal people. He said normal people. Yeah, it can't be given to a normal person. Never mind, that's fine. That all adds up. So I don't know if this affects anything. It's almost obvious when you think about it, seeing as how the curse stones appeared in the curse bearers of their own accord to begin with. But Inspector Tsutsumi has collected curse stones from other curse bearers. He's not normal, though. Then Inspector Tsutsumi must be a curse bearer himself. Yeah, so it all adds up. And again, I shouldn't be, like, stopping to think of things because they're just gonna tell me anyways. So from what you're saying, curse stones can only be transferred between curse bearers? And obtaining a curse stone alone doesn't make someone a curse bearer, so they can't use its curse? Exactly, so they aren't quite as dangerous as you think. As for Heihaku's intention of just collecting the curse stones for themselves, unfortunately for them, it was never going to work unless there's a curse bearer among them. The only other thing I can think of, which we haven't really been given reason to believe can happen, is that because of this, we're gonna run into a situation where a curse bearer, like, swaps their curse stones and can use that power instead. But, like, we haven't been able to, like, verify if that's possible. Tsutsumi's the only one that has a bunch of them, and he hasn't really used any of them. He only was able to use his lie detector, like, at the beginning, and then that hasn't been a thing. We haven't, like, had the use curse button forever. Unfortunately for them, it was never going to work unless there's a curse bearer among them. Irk. That damn Marashi. How could he not know this? That must be why I sensed that I couldn't take Yako's curse stone. I returned it right away when I borrowed it from her earlier. That's precisely how it works, my mysterious mademoiselle. You can come up with different names, Richter. I'll give mine directly to Inspector Tsutsumi later. If you know Inspector Tsutsumi, then I think that's best. Thank you. At least Richter hasn't called her gloomy. Pies Haru's been, like, calm about this. Anything for me to think about? Wow, seeing a bunch of adults. Alright. Mio gets the last word, actually. Yako, let's keep quiet about the location of the talisman for now, okay? Right. No need for Yumioka to know. That was a close one. I almost let it slip. That was really the last thing we had to say because I didn't say that. Okay. Okay, I think that's about all we have to ask him. Well, we'll let you off for today since we went along with all your questions nicely. You were kidnapped! What do you mean you'll let him off for today? A pleasure working with you. We're done here. With the information you have. The hell are you whining about? I said we're done, so scram. What a baby. So honestly, their involvement is about as minuscule as I expected. Unless if they're lying, but like, yeah, big company doing their thing. It's all our business as well, so I shall be bidding you all farewell. Yes, right. Excuse me, Mr. Investigator. Please don't forget about that curse stone. Don't you fret. I'll hand it over to Inspector Tsutsumi like I promised. I'm glad I didn't end up having to give it to that Yumioka. Look how happy he is. Let's take our leave, madame. With this, we'll be freed from this troublesome curse ourselves. He's really putting on the act for that one. Now, why are we together? I guess it's good that we're together with Mayu, though, because we can go to Hitomi. That lady and the investigator. We should keep an eye on them. Agreed. Really? Why? Why are you part of our group now? I think they're up to something. Just my intuition, but still. Yeah, I wonder what that investigator really wanted out of all of this. If his goal was getting information about the curse stones, then this might be bad. Oh right, I got one of those curse stones too, the beckoning light. Oh right, if you wouldn't mind, would you give it to Inspector Tsutsumi without using it? Yeah, sure, if you introduce me to the cop, that is. I feel like if I keep carrying it around with me, I'll start getting some weird ideas too. Yako knows how it feels. But she was also possessed. I just remembered! Mayu, I have something important to tell you. Whoa, what's with all the yelling all of a sudden? You know a girl named Hitomi Okuda, don't you? Really? Hitomi was Hajame's talisman? Yes, he entrusted it to her in a panic just before his death. He sensed an imminent crisis closing in on him, but Hitomi was the only one around that he could ask for help. That's so? I'm sorry she got left with such a big responsibility. That must mean that Hajime got killed by someone who was after that talisman. But since he gave it to someone else, they couldn't seal it like they want it. I'll have to thank Hitomi for that. I also think it's gonna be hard for us to get her to give up the talisman. Yeah, you may be right. It was Hajame's dying request to her. So you two need the talisman for something? What was his dying request to her exactly? Like, I know he, like, gave it to her to find Michio's other talisman. So, like, I don't know. The idea was mainly that Mayu would be able to get the talisman from Hitomi because she trusts her more. So you two need the talisman for something? Yeah! Personally, I'd like to use the talisman as bait. Then I could get my hands on the bastard that killed Hajime. Please, I promise we'll uncover the mastermind behind all this. They probably have supernatural abilities at their disposal. Please leave them to us. Yeah, we'll catch them. Don't you worry. You are high school children. I know, like, Mio has powers, but come on. Well, look at that. You've got that look in your eyes. The look that young people get that says they'll get something done no matter what it takes. How am I supposed to say no to that? It puts them in danger, Mayu. You have to be a good role model. You go find them and give them what they deserve for what they did for my Hajime, you hear? We will. I'm pretty mad at them myself. You don't look at Mio. I like the idea that that's Mio's mad face. If punches work on him, I'll give him a good one. Ahaha. Now that I can get behind. I'll leave it to you two. Is that the end of Mayu's involvement? Now then, your next move should be to find Hitomi and get that talisman. Though, isn't there one more talisman that you need? Right, but we've got a pretty good idea of where the one Michio had is. We'll have to check with Inspector Tsutsumi about that. We should go back to the school and call him. You got it. Okay, I'll head to the high school now and wait for you there. Perfect. I got confused for a minute. I'm like, nothing new came up, but I guess it's because we're gonna still do this? Are we just back to investigating? Or is this because I screwed this one up? To go back to the park? I mean, nothing's really up right now. Everything's blacked out except for that. It has to... It has to be this, I guess? But, like, timeline-wise, why would we keep doing this? Is it... Did I really screw this up? How do you make it, like, act like you've done the thing? Do we talk more? Fucking light. No, this is just the same thing again. He's looking for the curse bearer, but I think that led to nothing. That was just something might have changed in the area. Oh god, I hope I didn't, like, fuck something up. Weren't we also... Don't have a reason to use the phone right now. Think. Everyone's relaxed. Maybe achievable to last resort. Does that mean she's given up on her plan? Richter, wait, this is different? Was it something I missed before? Ayami Tono says her plan for the Rite of Resurrection may be achievable through this last resort. Does that mean she's given up on her plan to steal a curse stone? Richter? You know, I have one as well. A last resort. You do? Ah. Even if we don't steal another curse stone, I already have my own. If it becomes necessary, I am prepared to use it. You know, I thought we would have this conversation earlier. So you think it might be possible that she has one of her own too? Is that what you're implying, Haru? But that she despises the idea of using it to kill others, so instead she means to steal a curse stone with soul dregs already in it? I mean, that still doesn't really make it right. You're still, like, the souls of the dead. It doesn't contradict anything we know. She lives nearby, which means she might have the Taiko of Sugaru curse stone. We still don't know much about that one. Richter? That last resort Ayami spoke of. It could be our chance. We can use her. I hear you loud and clear. Let me think about this. Can't help but feel oddly irritated around that girl. Well, that's definitely a new line of thinking that I didn't get before. Maybe that's what I needed to progress further. I mean, it doesn't help that this is a, it doesn't help that this is a chapter that just kind of doesn't end until it does end. So, yeah, that's what I was missing on that one. Good. One little moment where I didn't continue to converse with someone